I've sorted out 10 pounds of the Roma tomatoes. That's enough to do one batch, which would make 6 jars of this, like this. Let's take a look at what's in there. You can see onions and green peppers and tomatoes. That's what's in it. Except for maybe a little salt. That's it. I mean, ingredients are tomatoes, peppers, which would be the stoplight peppers, where they're green, red, and orange. You can see red ones. That's what we do. We put it in there and can it. This one's from last year. It's almost 1 year old. It's a little dusty. It's perfectly good. What we do to get the visual on this, see, we've got cases of this stuff left over from last year, and we give a lot of it to my daughter. When you go to use it, what we do is we'll add 2 of these, 12 ounces worth of tomato paste. And this particular brand is made in Italy with Roma tomatoes. I'm pretty sure it's distributed by a company in New Jersey, but I'm pretty sure this, I don't know. My wife says they come from Italy. I can't really tell anywhere where it says Italy. But either way, the Roma tomato paste. That combined with this makes most excellent sauce. See, we don't really cook it down to where it's sauce. We bottle it when it's very, like, we cook it for 2 or 3 hours and then jar it up. So it's not necessarily broken down all the way. But when we do cook it the last time, where you heat it up and add the tomato paste and stir it up, a lot of the stuff in there kind of melts in, and to where you don't notice any hunks and chunks. It's weird, but that's how it works. And then we use it in lasagna, spaghetti, for pizza sauce. If we were to make ravioli, which we do, we got a ravioli machine, we'd use it in that too. So we've got plenty of tomato sauce, and we've got the flour and the machine and eggs to make pasta. So I'm always going to have pasta at least. See, that's the point of sharing this whole tomato series thing, is that you're not going to live off of tomatoes, obviously, but you could supplement your food with it, and it's very healthy and fresh. And you know, you pick it when it's perfect and do it, you know. You don't get that kind of quality from the grocery store. I'm sorry, you just don't. They have other factors to deal with besides it being perfectly ripe and stuff. It has to travel, etc. You know, that doesn't even need to be said. But the quality of food you get from a grocery store, and sometimes, is better than what you could make. For instance, a steak. You can't even make one here in the city. But I can grow tomatoes and, you know, have some food that's here. And this is just the beginning. We'll start doing batch after batch of these tomatoes and fill it up to where we got a few more cases of these. These are quart size. So a quart of sauce plus 12 ounces ends up being, you know, quite a bit of sauce. Like, you could serve quite a few people with that. It's more than a thing of Prego, that's for sure. And plus, it's way better quality. Prego is sweetened with corn syrup, and those tomatoes in that jar are just naturally sweet. And it's actually sweeter than Prego, and you just enjoy it. It's just like, wow. You got to try this. The whole point of the series of the tomatoes is to try and get a couple of you guys to try just growing Roma tomatoes. Start with one plant or something. One of the things we like to do that's especially delightful is when you got your ripe Romas, get one of them Jack's pizzas, and then get your knife and sharpen it up. It's very sharp where you can slice your tomato very thin, and just put one Roma tomato sliced thinly on a Jack's pizza, and then cover it with a little more cheese. Say you bought some cheese. Then it's good. And that's just a cheap $2 pizza, and you can enhance it with one tomato and a little bit of cheese and make it where it's like, wow, good. Whereas if you just make it regular, it's meh, whatever. Try it sometime. I'm not kidding around. Putting it out there, sharing. Give it a shot. And you might even just buy a Roma at the store. They have them. One Roma tomato, slice it very thinly. Put it on a Jack's pizza. Add a little extra cheese on top. Bake it and eat it. It'll be delicious. Little stuff like that is happiness to me and my wife. We sure can't afford to go out for pizza and this and that all the time. We do occasionally, very occasionally, like twice a year. But in general, we'll make our own pizza or make our own lasagna, make our own Italian food. We've got Italian friends that have gave us some tips that are very helpful. One of the things is, what do you put in your spaghetti sauce to make it Italian tasting? Well, the Italian people we talk to say use basil. You can use sweet basil or Italian basil, but basil, not oregano. And they're right. Give that a try. We use sweet basil because we've tried them both. We actually grew our own. And boy, fresh basil from your garden in this sauce is most excellent. And the Italian guy told us how to deal with that too. Say if you grow your own basil, how to store it. Now this is different, but you cut it in little pieces like you're going to put it on, only put them in ice cubes and freeze that. Then when you need some basil, just freeze it, throw out a couple of them ice cubes, and then you'll have some little pieces of basil that you can use like spices on your food. I never would have thought of that, and I don't think I'd ever actually do it. We just use the dried stuff at the store, but fresh basil is way better. Okay, I've kind of rambled on about tomatoes. Tomatoes. It's like the August thing for us. If we start looking at all the dates, August, they're all pretty much, these are July, late July this year we did some. But usually we're doing it in August and trying to get it done before September so I can go goose hunting. I work on this a little bit every day. I'm getting a little excited because we're going to do a batch here. I just weighed up these 10 pounds of tomatoes. The ones down at the bottom are ripe and ready to go. If you cover them up like this and you put a towel on it or something, the ripening of the fruit makes gases that will cause the other fruit to ripen more quickly. It's the equivalent of putting it in a paper bag. These things do the same thing. That's why I'm using these. It's because somehow this design with the wicker baskets helps ripen the fruit, at least on the tomatoes. There's some in here that I picked that were ripening, and I'm thinking that the gas that they put off as they ripen will accelerate the ripening on the other fruit. It works. These were pretty green yesterday, or not completely green, but they just had barely turned orange a little bit. So I stuck them in with these others that are ripening, and they're giving off gases as they ripen. This is something we did in chemistry class when I was in college. We studied this topic. Some kids did tomatoes, others did different like apples and stuff. But we all did experiments using different types of bags and different size holes and etc. Whether it was in the refrigeration or not. And basically we all did food experiments, seeing what kept best. And mine was bananas. I was assigned bananas, and I did all the different things, and I figured out that, or at least from my results, what seemed to work best was a baggie with holes in it. And now you see why they got them bags at the store that have, they're green and they breathe. They're not actually airtight, and they help keep your fruit fresh longer. It's because they breathe and let it degas. Probably has certain size holes that let the gas from the fruit out, but then won't let it back in, or something really goofy. I don't know, but seems to be a one-way thing going on there with that. I don't know that much about it, but I know we studied this, and from my data, that would suggest that those, and everyone else too, we all got the same results pretty much, is that the bags with holes stored fruits and vegetables better. Now I'm trying to do the opposite and make it ripen faster. I have lids for these, and I probably should be putting lids on them, but I'm not sure where they are. They have wicker basket lids. A towel thrown over it would work too. You want to keep the gases in so that affects the ripening. Very goofy. For the science. Science. Have a great day. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.